Alright folks, we're back. Hello, and I guess I'd say welcome, but you're already here. It's like someone has been hanging out at your house for an hour, you're like, make yourself at home. You're like, bro, I've been here for like...
Hey, you go to the bathroom for 2 minutes, come back.
I guess for the new people tuning in, welcome to the stream. So we're kind of discussing during the break what we want to do. I think herO versus aLive or Solar looks to be one of the more preferable matches, but we kind of just gotta wait and see what's really available, to be honest. That being said, with some subs or resub, another one come in. Thank you to Hazel_CL for the 2 months back to back. Hit us up just as we went to the ad break, so we did unfortunately miss that in real time. But I guess with the stream delay, we're never really in real time.
Whoa, man.
Yeah. Stats advancing plays against either Impact or Keen. It's one of those things where if we have no word on one, we might just hop to the other. But as said before, and I say this without any exaggeration, there's so many good matchups. I'm not really too worried. Whatever we end up casting next will probably still be fun. Probably still be good.
Yeah. Looks like it is Keen, too.
Right,
well, unless that's game number 3. That actually might be game number 3. What?
Quay? Sorry, I wasn't following. What?
Well, I said Proxima, which is the first map of the second series, but it also might be his third map choice in a series versus Impacts.
Oh, I don't know. Crime Dog 75, appropriate name to say hi, BaseTradeTV fam and friends. Wonderful morning up here in Atlanta. Only 2 gunshots. Woo.
Nice.
I would, you know what? I know it's like a real like almost first world issue, but I've not heard a gunshot in, I want to say like 5 years at least.
Well,
the last time I heard gunshot was actually really scary though, because it was, so this is, I'm living out in Langley. This is still country, and I guess like one of our neighbors had either not paid for drugs or had owed drug money or something like that. I don't know what the deal was, but the point is, guy busted in with a shotgun through the front door. Nobody actually got shot, by the way, before I tell the story. Like, no person got shot, but they came with a shotgun. They shot the front door. They shot up the place, and I guess that was like the biggest, like, give us our money or else.
Damn.
So that was kind of scary to hear. I'm gonna be honest. But I've not heard any actual just like single gunshots.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard any gunshots either, actually, the more I think about it. I mean, I've heard them at, like, well, I fired a gun, so I guess that counts. And then, like, hunting season, I suppose. But I guess, like, not just, like, out in the city, like, as, like, far as crime or just random gunshots goes. But I did go to a pawn shop recently in West Virginia, and I wanted to take a picture, but I was, like, worried the guy, like, would yell at me for doing it, because there were just, like, guns and, you know, crossbows and whatnot, just freely available to trade in whatever you wanted in the pawn shop. Because some people still don't believe that you can buy guns in America at a Walmart. Even better, at a pawn shop.
Well, so I was actually at the Canadian Tire the other day, which is kind of like a Walmart almost. I mean, we obviously have Walmarts, right? But they had this sort of gun cabinet, and I'm like, whoa, we're getting like real American up in here. And then it's like all airsoft guns. But I'm surprised so much those look like real rifles.
I don't know. I actually have never seen.
They even had like mini Uzis, but it was like, again, like airsoft. So like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Guns are scary. I don't want to hold it.
Man, Apollo looks so comfy right now.
I know, right? So big news, guys. Big news stream.
Wait, I have sad news, and then you do your big news, so it like masks the sad news. I was gonna bring up. So Millie went to the vet yesterday.
Yeah.
I've been nagging my parents to do it for a while, and they didn't want to take her in because of money. So I sent them money. I said, look, just fucking take her in. Please get her looked at, because they're complaining about how she's like obviously as usual peeing on all everything, but also I guess has been limping around a little bit. And I knew she had like the sort of shaky front left paw. But the guy looked at, and I guess she's just got some, like her old age arthritis is starting to set in on her back legs now, which kind of sucks. Yeah. So they're trying to make her comfy, and they say she's like okay, and it's like nothing super serious, but it's like really sad because you're like, it's that reality again where you're like, your cat is old.
Yeah, isn't Millie only like 10 or something?
No, she's Oh, I got her in high school. Hang on. So it's grade 8.
13? Oh.
Plus 10 years. No, I've been out. Yeah, I had my reunion like 2 years ago. It's like 14, 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. It's like, yeah, my cats are obviously old and whatever, and they were like 18. But, anyways, the good news, guys, fun news is that we're getting another kitten. Someone's gonna be a show stealer. Yeah.
I just really hope that Apollo gets along with your kitty cats and doesn't end up being like, you know, protective or territorial.
Jealous, yeah. I can't imagine him being anything but just like a little scared initially, like, well, what is this? Like, I haven't had to deal with one of these in like 4 years. And then just really happy that he has someone to play with. Because he's never hissed. I don't think he knows how to hiss. Legitimately. Like, even when playing with him,
That's almost
he
like a
doesn't
bad
hiss.
thing, though. Because then he can't show that he's, like, annoyed.
Well, So he's
going to go from, like, 0 to 100 on the freak out scale when he actually gets pissed off.
I don't know. I actually legitimately don't know. But because he has... I'm not saying that he can't do something that shows that he's serious, I guess, whatever. Because what he does when he's playing is he doesn't hiss. He spits, like, and that seems to be his version of a hiss, and I'm not sure why. I don't think it's a bobtail thing. I think it's a Apollo thing. So he might do that, but I don't know, man. I can't imagine him doing what Pyro did, because Pyro like basically like smelled a new kitten and it was just like, but. It was so good because like Pyro didn't know what he was hissing at, right? He just like smelled it. So he's just like hissing as he was like walking casually. Like he wasn't freaked out, his tail wasn't up, he wasn't spiky and all furry, he just was like, where the fuck is it?
By the way,
chill.
Just side note, guys, because I see some people getting restless in chat. We are still waiting on a match. I just tried to show that a few moments ago on screen. Either herO versus aLive or Solar. We don't know which. That game is still going on. Or on the bottom side, we got Stats versus either Impact or Keen. I think Crank is casting Keen, though, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, we may be sitting for just a little bit of time, but hopefully it won't be for too long. The thing is, though, like, the first series just timed out really weird with the rest of everything. So,
yeah, it was kind of
not
fast.
much more we can do about it. But yeah, I'm really hoping for herO's game. At the same time, though, we have been waiting long enough at this point that if Stats gets an opponent first, we'll just grab that. I mean, we don't want to leave you guys hanging out for too long here.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to know more about my kitten, his name is Nugget. I'm just start like spilling.
It's just so cute. Nugget feels like a nickname you would say for something that's cute, not give it like as a name. So you've just given, you defaulted to already making it all cute right off the bat.
My mom really likes the name Nugget. Me and my dad are talking about it though. My dad said he wouldn't mind naming a cat after a StarCraft character, which I thought was funny that he specifically brought that up. But Nugget it is. It's a she, and it's this little, just like little poof, okay? Like it's so tiny, you guys. It's definitely the run of the litter, but it's very affectionate, so hopefully it has some playful side for this guy.
That's set a little head pat. So while this is, I guess, in Limbo Town, guys, I really don't know what else we can do. So I'm going to just take us to another commercial break. I'll be back in 2 minutes, hopefully with a game good to go when we return. Just tuned in, so Zomgrub is a cat. That is the logical assumption to make upon seeing that camera with the human hands and all that. Alright guys, we're back, and we're still waiting on matches, which is kind of insane that it went down like this. I told you we should have gone with aLive versus Solar, I'm just saying. I said that at the start of the stream. But we did get to see a cannon rush that killed Stats, so I guess it's kind of like a toss-up. Regardless, still in Limbo Land, still waiting, and we're actually getting close to this weird reality where we may see round 3, aka round of 8 matches, become more available than the round of 16. I don't actually know. Like, for example, Scarlet and Penguin are out of game. Like, they might be going to finish up their series. They might be moving on. I don't actually know. It's unfortunately, for whatever reason, those two TVZs have just gone on forever.
I guess they're pretty epic.
Maybe.
They're also pretty quickly going to games.
I feel like they're either pretty epic or pretty terrible, you know what I mean? Like, for those games to be going on for, like, 20-minute sessions.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, I guess a bit of a shout-out to aLive. He recently got a team pickup with My Insanity, so he is now playing on Team MYI, which is kind of neato burrito.
Yeah, that was a cool pickup. I'm glad that someone picked up aLive. He's had too many appearances, too many good appearances to not be picked up by someone. Yeah. But I guess it's a lot of players nowadays.
That was kind of our surprise moment with Beal, where we're like, how is this guy not on a team? I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, the big names are still missing teams, but they seem to be so comfortable they don't care. Like Innovation, says Zest, and all them.
I feel like when you do have the profile and the renown of those guys, it's actually totally understandable. But for some of the other guys, like aLive, who just don't have that, you can like, man, he's performing really well. Just actually doesn't have like the notoriety, or excuse me, notability of these other players.
Yeah.
Oh,
looks like Impact Keen is done.
Maybe.
Well, I guess it could be going to game 3. Usually they say it in chat when it's over. But...
Well, I'm more used to somebody logging off immediately. The fact that they're chatting makes me question everything I know.
It's questionable. That's a good point. aLive still in game.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess I'll leave you to poke them and figure out who's coming up next.
Oh God, who do I poke? I could maybe watch the end of the stream.
It's kind of like bracket predictions, right? Like, who do you think will win?
Oh, Crank isn't attached to Team Liquid.
So while this is going on, I want to just share some personal opinions on this whole life thing, since we have all this downtime. It's interesting watching the very drastic different opinions on this whole like life may or may not be coming back, life may or may not be playing thing, right? Like on one side you've got the diehard fans, life could fucking murder a person, and these guys would be like, yeah, but he's so good at Zerg, so you know, who cares? And on the other you get the people who are just like, look, it doesn't matter how good or bad he was, like he committed basically the biggest form of fraud of all time, don't let him back in the scene. And like on this like I guess graph of like, I sit closer to this mirrored images to this side than to this side. I didn't really know life that well, and like while I got to watch him win BlizzCon and all this other stuff live, I don't feel like I ever felt like he was this crazy god that people build him up to be. So I definitely don't have like the fanatical hype personally. But on the other side of it, I'm also not so much like, oh my god, he basically killed esports by match fixing. But I am like maybe here on the graph or the scale, because I feel like what he did was he disrespected every other player who plays this game doing what he did, and basically he's compromised like anything he's been involved with. And for me, that was our first online tournament. If you guys remember, it was Hyun versus Life in the finals after Bomber ditched out. Fucking Bomber, dude. I'm supposed to love you. You did that to us. So I've definitely got this harsh like, not hate, but it's like harsh not caring about life. And I keep seeing all these hype threads, and it kind of like, for me, every upvote I see in one of those threads, I think is like, that's the type of person who can't wait for day 9 to come back to StarCraft, or that's the type of guy to come can't wait for like Husky to revive his YouTube channel. Like, people who are stuck in the past is what I see. And what bothers me about this isn't the actual situation of life and like whether he should or shouldn't come back. It's just seeing like numbers and upvotes and value attached to how many people are living in the past. You know what I mean?
Not to cut you off, but we have a decision to make, I guess, because it was so coincidental. Of course it is. Either Stats Keen, which we're in right now, but Crank is covering, or aLive just got out of the game. So
I just, you know what? I don't care. You pick. I'm good with whatever.
I literally ask you for a reason. literally ask you so you choose.
Oh.
Literally.
Well, if Crank's covering this one, let's cover the other one then.
Okay.
Did you... I'm just face bombing at how terrible this went. Like, you know, like the analogy here is like we're in a car, right? These are the passenger, like our webcams, like the passenger seat and the driver's seat. And Zombieb's in the driver's seat, and she's like, Rifkin, you gotta navigate better. You're the passenger side. And I'm like on my phone playing fucking Pokemon. I don't have Google Maps open. Like, I'm like, just use your eyes. Pick the exit off the highway. I don't care. Like, I'm here for the ride, not the destination. All right.
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah. So I'm not sure who won, aLive or Solar, but Solar isn't on anymore, so I'm gonna guess aLive. Right? Yeah. Oh no, maybe it's game 3. Oh shit. Well, it's either game 3 or he's making a lobby. Who knows?
Why don't you? Okay, score. I'm just messaging him and saying score? Question mark? Like.
I did message him asking score.
Okay, he's out of his lobby. Let's hope he was just trying to be a good guy and made the lobby, but was too slow.
Too slow.
All right, by the way, following up with some of this life conversation, because there's a chat. Maynard brings up a really good point here. First off, life isn't technically back. A lot of people just heard that he was playing ladder. This would be like if you heard Idro was playing ladder. It's going to spark some interest, for sure. But the thing is, like, life can't play in any big tournaments. Fuck, he's never going to play in ours. I'll tell you that right now. No, at least not that will knowingly allow happen. And he can't stream on a Freaka. Maybe he starts trying to stream on Twitch, because as far as I know, Twitch doesn't have like bans on stuff like that. But fuck, if I ever see him stream, like, I'll report him. I'll be like, Twitch, don't let this happen. Like a freak, if you got like a whole tournament, a whole site like a Freaka not willing to let, and this isn't limited to life, by the way. A Freaka actually started cracking down on cheaters and match fixers, and people who are basically illicit can't stream on a Freaka.
So this whole life thing is actually a lot of conflicts, and I'm not quite sure where I stand, to be honest, as people are bringing up a lot of parallels. And while I think the beyond parallel is false equivalence, I'm not going to bring that up. There are other situations where match fixers...
Fighting aLive? Sorry, go on.
You've a soul. I literally been asking him to respond to me.
So just invite him. That's all I did. Sitting here for like 5 minutes. All right, sorry, go on. Your point about life. I didn't mean to
fuck
interrupt.
you. No, I don't want to make it anymore.
Okay.
Apparently TakeTV is gonna join us.
Okay, cool. Sorry, it's just we've been sitting here for like 25 minutes. I just really want to get this going. And now just awkward silence.
Well, maybe I'm ready.
They're chatting up a storm. Maybe what I like to imagine is going on here is herO. aLive joins the lobby and says, herO, hello. And then herO's like, hi, aLive. Congrats on your new team. And aLive's like, thank you. I will hope to do well in GSL for my team. And then does a sad face. And then herO laughs at him.
That's a lot just to say that.
I know, they use like 4 characters. There's literally no way they said that. But they are chatting a bunch right now. We're waiting on them to give us the go ahead. So herO says go, waiting on aLive. Woo!
Here we go.
Proxima Station.
Cool. Oh. Scarlet lost 2-0.
Who's
Womp
Penguin?
womp.
Must be Protoss.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, well, we are finally in a game after what is way too much downtime. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. It's map number 1 here in the round. a 16. I had to double check because it's been so long that was a round of 8. The bottom left. He just joined my insanity like a day ago. It is the Red Terran player aLive.
And top right, this is Blue Protoss. He is herO.
Of course, Root Gaming's herO. Hopefully at this point that's established. Like, I know for a while we've had to dance around with like, oh, this is an X Team Liquid herO, this is X CJ Antis herO, but now they both have teams and they should be very distinguishable because there's Root herO, then there's Revolution herO. And Root herO has had some pretty cool successes, but more importantly, really cool wins. And he's been playing very cheesy against players that are Terran. So I don't know that we'll see anything too ridiculous in this series because aLive is a good player and cheesing somebody like aLive is risky. But things like proxy Stargates are really not out of the question. Not when it comes to this guy. No,
it's like, well, actually, it's something that aLive should expect, and this is exactly what's happening, so. Not too surprising. Not at all. It is funny, though. I was laughing in the beginning of it is because I guess now we have 2 Koreans on 2 foreign teams. And also aLive has yet to change over to My Insanity's clan tag. Still on doping. These Koreans never caring about their clans. This is gonna be Stargate. Gotta be 100%. I mean, a lot like herO can do anything, like Hidden Dark Shrine.
I would love if he did something just absolutely like it's gonna be a Stargate. I'm gonna call it. There's no way it's not, but I would love if this was like a proxy robo, something really weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's done a proxy robo before. This proxy robo ended up going into something really dumb though. Like I think I was casting with someone else. I was casting Maynard, I think, when we saw it. And it was just the weirdest game. Or maybe I was solo casting. Either way, like
look at this. Oh, aLive, are you gonna go down or are you gonna go up? Okay, he's gonna go up. Damn it.
Yeah. I mean he's gonna recognize there's something amiss really, like, you know, very soon here and then go scout around, but so many places to proxy on Proxima. The robo is just so important, and what he ended up doing, I think he ended up like going for a warp prism and like harassing and then a disruptor drop, and I was just like, why would you proxy your robo to do that?
So this is really cool. Like the scouting information for aLive immediately signals there's something proxied, and 99% of the time that's a Stargate. So this is where I really like the potential of this robo throwing him for a loop. Not to mention the fact that it's just by putting it down here, it's not scouted, but disruptor drops coming out of the blue. Apparently I need to go get some allergy medicine or something. 2 sneezes in less than an hour? Feels bad, man. But, yeah. Regardless, the pylon comes down at the front. This is still going to be the annoying frustration that is this pylon attack to deal with, but furthered by the fact that, oh, is he going to scout this? Oh, he's just barely not going to see this. Oh, it's SCV.
Oh, lordy. It would be great if you confirm it's not a Stargate.
Ah, he's gonna miss it. This is what's so cool though, because herO, like for those who don't know, like right here, this is the proxy spot. Nine times out of 10, this is where people go put those proxies down. But anyways, while this goes on, herO breaks the front door. He takes down the reactor, so that's already really annoying to have to deal with. Combined with the fact that, you know, this, if it gets scouted, I think is a lot easier to manage. The medevac and Marines is totally acceptable to Widowmine to deal with things like, say, an Oracle, but it's not an Oracle, it's disruptors. And while this goes on, I guess it is worth noting, herO doesn't have a lot at home to defend with. You know, you give up a lot to make this attack happen. The Mothership Core is on the other side of the map. You don't have that many units produced. And that robo is certainly not going to be helping at home anytime soon. But I think the SCV just saw, so I think aLive has to know, like, okay, a disruptor is what's coming up.
Yeah. It's already here!
Surprise! Okay, that could have been better.
Yeah. 3 SCVs really isn't that bad. aLive did a good job juking that disruptor shot out. Ooh, and now he can do his own little bit of damage.
Well, disruptor shot is cool. Probe kills even better. 10 workers done.
Damn.
Well, that's a good start. He's got to depower the pylons too, which is annoying. This is really no.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, well, there's no defense.
There's not.
This is so cool though, because if aLive had stayed at home, he would have been playing like a lot of ring around the rosy, running away from disruptors, not doing a lot of damage. But his choice to come across the map, killing 13 probes, this has been a fantastic way to deal with this. Yeah.
A couple more going down, I guess. I guess the Widowmine rearmed. Or no, it's Liberator, actually. And they rearmed.
I only got 1 kill, but the Liberator was the bigger deal here. Where is that Warp Prism with the disruptors? Okay, getting some SCV kills over here. 6, not bad.
But this Viking's already like, the Viking can't chase the fast warp prism, but it can maybe get a couple shots into the actual health, and then it's gonna deter any further disruptor drops. And herO is already having trouble enough dealing with stuff back at home. He can't micro it properly.
Yeah, he's on 11 workers. I mean, I like herO. He can do a lot of good micro, but there's only so much you can do macro-wise when you've got 11 workers.
Yeah, he's gotta bring aLive down to his numbers.
It'd be nice if the Vikings out of position had he realized it. May have been able to actually warp in like an adept or two here, but yeah, not gonna be the case now. This is certainly annoying. Nice Viking control out of aLive though. I gotta say, that actually kills the warp prism, and that's gotta be game.
Gee, damn. I guess I didn't really expect aLive to take the series, and it's not the series yet. But I was actually giving herO a bit of an edge in my mind, because he's cheesy, but he's also very good beyond the cheese.
Yeah. Well, that's a good start for aLive. 1-0, but as stated, not exactly going to win the series just yet. If he does 2-0, that would be the most impressive thing, without a doubt. The winner of this actually goes on to fight against either Hush or Armani, to note. Top side of the bracket has Gumiho. Oh, please let it be Gumiho with patience, and let that time out well enough for us to cast it. Please, God, if you're there. Gumiho and Neeb was a surprisingly good but still one-sided series for the Ting Open finals, and I think it just made me fall in love with Gumiho's TVP more so.
Some pretty good TVP. That would be exciting. Zest advances on too. We might actually have a decent number of Protoss in the semifinals, which happens more lately than it ever did before.
Yeah, a lot more PvTs than TVTs, which I will take every single time. I've got no balance complaints about it or anything, but I just feel like I have really lost interest in TVT, primarily because of Ravens, and mostly because of the tank change a while back. And again, like, I'm not commenting on whether those are good or bad changes. That's really for you to decide as the viewer and you to decide as the player. But for me personally, I think that the TVT matchup became so much more boring when just combination of these two things mixed together. I'm not loving the matchup right now.
I don't mind TVT, but there's too much of it. PvZ is getting a little too anticipated.
Stale.
Yeah, I feel like I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So TVP is really, I guess, where it's at. I said PvZ, right? Not TVZ. I still like TVZ. Yeah. PvZ still. Anywho.
Well, we're hopping into game. It's map number 2. Spawning here in the bottom right. He's up 1-0. It is aLive.
The bottom left is the red Protoss. He is herO.
Someone in chat asked you about Bit Boss Battle. I actually disabled it for today on purpose. I feel like the last couple of streams haven't been getting a lot of love through it, so rather than try and force it to be a thing, I figured like maybe we'll use it once in a while. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If there's some of you who've just been sitting there on bits, like hoping to throw them at the stream and be the Bit Boss, don't get me wrong. I could turn it on in a heartbeat. Look, hang on. Where's this? Add URL. Boink, boink. Like, this just takes 2 seconds to set up. So, if you guys are interested, we can turn it back on. But to be honest, it feels like there's been waning interest, I suppose.
Yeah, I know. That's certainly what it feels like. But it is kind of that question of like, it's just because people don't want to like, put in thousands of bits at once, because people still seem to like poking the boss, like 10 bits, 20 bits here and there. Yeah,
we've had also people like Megadog and others who have just been like doing one every single time, just to be cheeky. Nobody's perfect.
I think you do Pyfigure. PYFGCR for the 513 sub. I tried.
Pyfixer.
Pyfigure.
This is, if you don't know, there's name changes available on Twitch, guys.
All right, well, herO did start off with a Zealot, but decided not to go for it. So I doubt this was a Zealot because he thought aLive was going to, like, proxy a Cyclone. Like, a defensive Zealot in PvT is just not really a thing. So I think he just changed his mind. Like, don't go for the Zealot that really makes us committed. Like, it's like 100% committal as opposed to what he's doing right now, which is, I guess, like 80% committal. Like, it's still, you're gonna the Motion Core across and the Adapt, and you're gonna still try and pylon rush. It's still pretty expensive, but yeah. And also the Reaper was specifically scouting for a Zealot, looks like, or a Probe, either one, both.
Oh.
Not gonna find it.
By the way, thank you to Sheezel for that host, man. It's awesome. I don't know if you were, I guess if you were streaming, you didn't hear, but I give you like the most excellent shout out in game 1 of Classic versus Stats. I'd say worth checking out there. Of course, anytime I talk about Sheezel, I guess like the assumption is cannon rushing, but really I should be comparing people's like green screen capabilities to him. Guy's like on point.
This is just a Motion Core poke.
Yeah, no pylons in the front door, which is always relieving. The problem is these Marines, for those who don't know, 2 of them can't deal with this. The Cyclone actually has that just right amount of damage, though. Although Cyclone damage is still questionable at best. Oracle's gonna come in, I guess, with one of the Marines going down. The Cyclone can eventually push it off, but that is the key word, eventually.
If you really know your stuff, then you're gonna know they don't have a Widow Mine if they got a Cyclone, but it is still enough.
Pretty bravely flies through that mineral line.
Right back out. The Niza Mule gets 2 SCPs maybe? Just the one.
It was like a Half-Life Mule too, so it wasn't even too bad, actually. Second Oracle comes in. Right now, aLive's just been kind of chasing around, but I think with the Viking, the Marines he has, this isn't going to be too big of a problem. It's certainly annoying, though, to say the least. And, ooh, a little bit supply block, but don't worry, we didn't see that.
Didn't notice. There's also, I guess, an Adept coming to the front, too. I mean, there is still a point where aLive does not have a lot of units, but he's really getting to that, like, crucial unit point, like a Cyclone Marines here, a Viking to chase everything down over there, and even a Widow Mine could come out and maybe burrow itself to definitely take care of the Oracle.
One more hit would have finished it off. Oh, and the Mule comes in at the wrong time, maybe.
Website.
Ah, that sucks. But at the same time, though, that's going to cost him the Oracle.
Not worth, in my opinion, because now he doesn't have any Oracles. Even then, maybe not worth, which if even he had one Oracle still alive. The Adept's going to shade in, and, well, it shouldn't, as it'll just die and continue to be useless. herO's got a proxy pylon with a proxy gateway. He's really going all in here, but his opener is just... I don't really think it's effective enough to go for a follow-up.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Well, if he catches the Marines out like this... Oh, this is so dangerous. The Void Rays are already going to be a problem, right? The fact that he's going for 2 makes that even worse. Those Cyclones will melt if that's the case. Maybe going in a little bit too soon, though. I don't know. That Oracle is going to get caught by the Marines. Oh, aLive! Surprise, surprise! Very nice to see. As he continues to push out, he'll catch this pylon before it's ready to do Warpins. Slow Warpins coming into play. If he focuses down the pylon with the Cyclones, he could have killed it in time, but he's busy chasing off those Stalkers. Now he's going to pull back. What he's pulling back to is an unfinished bunker, finishing just now.
A single sentry for Guardian Shields. Maybe a Force Field would be more useful if the SCV repair comes down, but I don't know. aLive seems really prepared for this.
I feel
now
like
there's no Oracle either. Like, he really doesn't know what's going on up there.
I feel like Guardian Shield's going to be way better, too, because it does affect air units, so it would help protect some of the Void Rays, potentially, but as he's fly to the main, a little bit awkward, because super out of position, and I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Yeah, just hoping that aLive took the wrong amount of units, or only the Viking, because, of course, the Viking just dies. But there's another one already. Marines as well, and he's got to be careful. So far, so good, losing mostly the shields on both Void Rays, but now starting to lose more than just the shields.
Yeah, so Void Ray is truly terrifying when Prismatic Alignment is available. When it's not, I mean, they still do good damage, but had more microbing going into that may have been different. Second bunker is going to be up. He does fill it up, but the SCVs are blocked out. The force fields are good. Repairs aren't holding. But aLive Cyclones are dealing a ton of damage, and with that tank out, he might just be good to go. If those Void Rays were in the back end right now killing that tank, this would be an easy attack for herO. But it's one Void Ray. Can kill the Viking.
Yeah, and then probably just look at the tank. The Marines have got to cover the tank is a lot more important, but they're not going to cover it.
Oh, he dives in for it.
The Cyclone's going to block him out.
New tank up on the high ground. SCV's starting to bleed out for this. While this went on, Probes died across the map. That would have managed to walk into the mineral line, which is funny enough. But that tank is set up so nicely. And I think with these Cyclones, I think aLive's got it.
Yeah. That tank's really pretty crucial.
Well, I'm looking more at
Cyclones
this. There's just no way to clean this guy up.
That's true too. I mean, but like it would be no mineral line in the natural compared to what would hopefully be aLive just straight up dead in the main base. But herO can't break them.
Yo, shout out to these Cyclones. They've been scrapping like the best of them. All that damage coming into play. The tank gets the finishing blows. Sentry gets out of there with 1 health remaining. But with the new bunkers coming up, if those finish, you know, that took all the force fields to break the first 2. And he's got nothing close to that army to break a second set. Not to mention tanks up on the high ground. At this point in the game, I think it's really difficult for aLive to lose. But you are playing as Protoss. Quick.
If herO hadn't warped in second, third, fourth time, whatever, and gotten a third base, that might have been a good point.
It is, though, so techless. Like, okay, yeah, third base maybe is finished by now. You have a couple of workers, but you still have no resonating glaives. You don't have +1. You don't have blink. You've got nothing to really work with. And this Liberator, oh, this is going to be super annoying.
And aLive did manage, like, he continued his build beyond just the defense. He didn't mess up and forget stim. That's already done. He's got combat shields and Marauder slow on the way with Tech Labs. His production's going to be fine. herO should live. Okay. But aLive, his army's going to be a lot better as soon as he gets those medevacs out. And he could probably just stim the win.
Yeah. I mean, army supply leads right now, but this is one of those things where he has just been so annoying these centuries. Why?
Worth run.
Why, God, why?
Yeah. Still getting a couple of probes, though. Like, the Oracle realizes it can't do anything in a second. Nice. Nicely done now. aLive is going to push out to take care of the gateway. His combat shield is almost done. Medevacs are almost out. It's really all he needs.
I was going to supply block him.
Huh. Harsh.
Well,
I guess his Nexus finished.
Yeah. Times out decently, but still the problem is like losing 2 pylons like that when you're already riding the supply cap. Trying to go for units like Void Rays on top of this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really like Void Rays if there was like less Marines. Like if this had somehow ended up being more tanks, more Cyclones, more anything else, Void Rays would actually be able to hold this game. But as you mentioned, Stim is done, Combat Shields is done, +1's finishing up as we speak, and this push, while perhaps not the biggest Terran push of all time, I don't know how stoppable it'll be. Tanks can set up on that ledge. It's a lot of adepts here, but even with Guardian Shield, that's a lot of Marines at a +1.
I'm trying to see a situation where the numbers aren't the only issue, and it's really hard to do when it's gateway versus bio. As you said, if it was tanks, then that would be different. I guess if aLive loses both medevacs to a single Void Ray, which would be impressive, that would cut his army supply to decent enough that herO could take on the main army, but he misses the medevacs entirely, so his main is going to die. Doesn't even get the Widow Mines.
Marines see this fight coming. They're going to start pulling back to the natural, which I don't think is a bad choice. Picks off the Oracle, not too bad, but there's that double drop over here to the main. There's nothing to defend. GG. aLive manages to take a 2-0 over herO. I mean, like that game, it looks silly, and I feel like if you've never seen these two play before, you're going to make real assessing judgments. But the fact is, herO losing 2-0 to a Terran is more surprising to me than aLive winning the series. Like, aLive is doing really well. I actually expect him to win games and take series. But for herO, of all people, to lose 0-2, that's what blows me away from that.
Yeah. It does occasionally happen just with the way that herO plays, I suppose. But I got bad news for you, Rifkin.
Billowy vs. Gimme already started?
And it's Billowy, but yes.
Well, first off, congrats Billowy beating Patience 2-0. PvP's been all over the place in Korea, but Patience, I'd say, has had pretty consistent, pretty solid PvP, so that's a good win for Billowy.
Yeah, I actually don't know what we can wait for now.
Yeah, whatever match is available, nice. Maybe we get game 3 or something, bottom side, but yeah, we're going to go to a break, I suppose, either way, so stick around, and hopefully when we're back, we know better idea of what we'll be casting next. Thanks for watching, guys.